You say all the right things when I'm hurting. You always pick me up when I am down. It's like you have a spark that leaves me burning. You just have your ways to get me high.
Hey guys, it's Kerima and welcome back to another video. So in this one, of course, I'm going to give you some cleaning motivation. This was right before we went on vacation. I will have some vlogs of our vacation coming soon, but I just kind of wanted to get the house organized. I have a dinner recipe that I want to share with you. I did a little grocery shopping, so I want to share my food prep with you guys as well, and a little lunch recipe in this video. So if you need some motivation today, stay tuned. I really appreciate you guys supporting my channel and watching my videos. If you're new here, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the comments.
You touch me in a way that makes me shiver. Sometimes I can't believe that you are mine.
So I am not the best when it comes to staying on top of the dishes, but I wanted to make sure that we had a clean kitchen since we were going on vacation. I wanted to really tidy up the entire house, but between work and packing and getting the kids prepared for back to school when we came back, I knew that wasn't going to happen. So my main goal was to focus on the kitchens and the bathrooms. So ever so often I get a lot of comments about how much water I waste when I'm washing dishes. I really don't know how you guys wash dishes without using water, or how little water. I mean, I guess if you feel like you're saving that much water by turning it off and on, then more power to you. But I really don't think it makes a huge difference when you're washing a small amount of dishes. Now, when I have a sink full, I will fill up the basin like I did here and clean all the dishes and then rinse them off last. But I don't feel like I'm saving a ton of water by turning it off and on for every dish to rinse it off. And it kind of makes washing dishes even worse, like more of a chore when I have to do that. So you guys, I do the best that I can, you know, when I can. So I did go to the supermarket. It wasn't really grocery haul worthy because it was a really small amount of items since we were going away, but we did need a few things to hold us over before our vacation started. So I try to prep all my fruits and vegetables as much as I can. I will be honest, it doesn't always happen, but I really like to do it because it just makes it so much easier to actually eat, and it prevents waste. It prevents us from letting anything go bad. So I like to use a fruit and veggie wash that I get from Trader Joe's, but I don't live very close to Trader Joe's, so if I don't have that, I just let my veggies and my fruit soak in a bowl of vinegar and water to clean them. So every time I show these, I always get questions on my fruit and produce containers. I have two different sets. I get them from Walmart and Costco. Not Walmart, from Aldi and Costco. I think this is the Costco set here, but they just had them out in Aldi. They may be gone by now, so I'm sorry this video is a little late, but they just had them out in Aldi. And Costco brings it out a couple of times a year. If you're interested in something like that, just look out for them. But I really do think it helps, especially for the lettuce. Those romaine lettuce, if you leave them in a bag and you don't prep them, they will go bad on you so fast. But in this container, they really last a while. I actually went on vacation and we came back and we had a few left that we didn't use, and they were still crispy green, and we made salads when we came back from vacation. So that's how well these produce keepers work. I also find that if you leave the leaves whole, like how I'm doing, it lasts a lot longer. Before, when I would prep them, I would cut them up like you would do for a salad to just have it ready, but they, to me, didn't last as long as they do when you leave the leaves whole. It was around lunchtime when we came back from the grocery store, so I am just going to make us all some lunch. I am preparing some bacon here to make some BLTs. I haven't had a BLT in a really long time, and I think I was watching Jen Chapin's video. She makes a lot of good recipes. I get a lot of recipe ideas from women here on YouTube. It's one of my favorite type of videos to watch, is watching other people cook. But she had made a BLT for her family and it looked so good. So that is where today's lunch idea came from. You guys, sorry for some of the weird transitions in this video, or particularly this part. My son is always close to me and he loves the camera now, and then he's always touching it. So sometimes when you see it shake or move in a weird way, just know it's your nephew messing with the camera.
Away, I was speechless when we first met. Yeah, you took the pain away, didn't mind my scars, mend my broken heart. Life was dull until you came. Now I see in color again. It could rain, I don't mind if it pours, 'cause I'm right next to you. Come rain or come shine, I don't mind.
So you only see 3 plates here because of course Kingston was not about to eat a BLT. He does like bacon, but he does not like lettuce and tomatoes. So he had bacon with a peanut butter sandwich, not on the sandwich, but on the side of his peanut butter sandwich. But you guys, bacon is one of my favorite foods, and I love really crispy bacon. But the tips, when the bacon is cooked just right and the tips are like super crispy, isn't that the best part? You notice I ate the tips off of everybody's bacon, but don't tell them. This is my plate. I just had my sandwich with a side of cherries. So this is later on in the day. Like many hours later, because I'm prepping dinner. I did some packing and just kind of got ourselves organized and ready. I took Chloe out shopping for some school clothes. You'll actually see that in a vlog, so look at your girl making videos for both channels. But yeah, so I ran a lot of errands and came back to prep dinner, and today we are making pepper steak. Where did I get this idea from? Actually, I wanted to make beef and broccoli, and I didn't have most of the ingredients to make it. When I looked up a recipe on Pinterest, I only had the beef and broccoli, girl. But I also saw a recipe for pepper steak. Honestly, I didn't even have the ingredients for that, but I knew I could wing it, and I had some peppers, so that's what we're having for dinner. This came out so good. The way I made this marinade or the sauce for the steak came out so good. So I'm gonna share exactly what I did because it wasn't even what I showed you in the video. So after I finished chopping up the steak, I just put it in this glass bowl with some balsamic vinaigrette dressing on it so I could marinate it. I put it in the refrigerator for about 40 minutes to marinate.
So just tell me how and I'll do it, babe. I love it when you whisper in my ear, words only meant for me to hear. Promise that your secret's safe with me. You're the only reason, yes, you're the only reason. Baby, you're the answer to my prayers. Feeling like
I had a handful of sweet peppers and a couple of green peppers in my fridge, so that's what I'm using to make the pepper steak recipe. I am cutting them a little wider because I wanted the peppers to be like substantial in the dish. You know how you make pepper steak, so I didn't cut it up small, and I also wanted to make it easier for the kids to pick them out because girl, sometimes they give you a headache just trying to pick out all the little pieces of pepper. So just pick them out and go about your business. I also roughly chopped up some onions to go with the dish as well. So I like to saute my peppers first because they take a little longer to soften. I let them saute for about 5 minutes before I added the onions. So here is where I would almost ruin this recipe because I suck at making gravy, but pepper steak you need to have like a gravy sauce. So first of all, I put way too much water. I like to use the little gravy packets because it's just easier for me. You can also use flour or cornstarch if you're good at that, but the gravy packets come a little pre-seasoned and they're easier to blend into the water, so I use that. Now this is not the recipe that I'm showing you on screen, so I am going to tell you what I did that made this gravy bomb. So first of all, I threw this away because I used way too much water and this was a whole mess. I ended up using a cup of liquid aminos. That's like soy sauce, so you can use a cup of soy sauce. I used a half a cup of balsamic vinaigrette, not the salad dressing. That's the balsamic vinaigrette that I'm using in the video. I used a half a cup of that. I put a quarter cup of brown sugar, like a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and seasoned to taste. That was it, and the gravy came out bomb. I definitely just lied. I also added a gravy packet, of course, because you need the actual gravy thickener. So you can use flour or cornstarch like I said before, but I find the gravy packets to be easier to work with. Here I'm adding a tablespoon of garlic. I wanted to add a tablespoon of minced garlic, but I'm adding whatever I had left in the jar. So it was a little less than a tablespoon, but if I had a fresh jar, I would have put a tablespoon of garlic in with the veggies. So here I was trying to save that watery gravy. I was putting some soy sauce. It was a wash. I threw it away and I made the recipe that I just told you guys. So now that the veggies are done cooking, I just took those out the pan and put it on the side and added my beef to saute and cook that. Right now I just have it on a medium heat, so I'm gonna let all the meat cook down. That's a lot more meat than I would normally put in one pan, but I didn't want to dirty any of the dishes I just washed. We are having that with some white rice, so I'm just putting it in the Instant Pot because it cooks in 4 minutes. To be honest, I don't even know if I still know how to cook rice. Maybe if I change the way I love it, maybe if I try to fix this heart, then I could have stayed the night, I could have called you mine. I can't be the one that you need. Maybe if I change the way I love it, maybe if I try to fix this heart, then I could have stayed the night, I could have called you mine. So for the life of me, I do not know why I didn't show the new marinade after I made it, but if you noticed, it was a lot less of it and it was thicker because I didn't put all that water in it, and it was so good. Here I was just kind of tasting everything to make sure it was seasoned well, and then I kept tasting it because it was so good. You came to this place to hide away in the dark. You tell yourself you need to move on, but when not in the shadows can ease your broken heart. And here is what the finished product ended up looking like. It was so good. I mean, maybe because I hadn't had pepper steak in so long, and I really don't make it myself. So making it for the first time myself, it came out really good. I just put that on a plate over some rice, and I did end up adding some salad to the plate when we had dinner, and that was it. I appreciate you guys so much for supporting me and watching my videos as always, and you know I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.